Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CNC with Dave Gatton show. I realize this is Father's Day weekend, and y'all probably got way better things to do than be here. But I just looked, and there was like,
what is this thing?
Forgot
Ain't
to
no
turn
turn
this
signals. No traffic.
off. Just looked, and there was like 30-something folks waiting. So, thank you so much for joining me tonight. As you can see, I'm kind of flying solo right now. Trevor Carter may or may not be here in a little bit. Michael Murray may or may not be here in a little bit. And I don't expect Hobby to join me. I sent him the link just because he told me to, but I think he's celebrating his anniversary with his wife at their new property. So I don't expect to see him. So for the time being, I'm flying solo. I do have the chat. If I keep looking down, it's because I'm looking down here at I got the chat window stuck up here. Like I said, I appreciate y'all coming and hanging with me tonight. Let's do a quick roll call. I see we got Mark Lindsay, CNC, David Mitchell, Rockin' Woodworks. That's Eloy. Patrick's Workshops in the house. Arnell Media, Rob Schuster, Ryan Ballard, Dale Ludlam. Dale, I'm going to be showing you project pics that you sent back in April. I found them, so I'm going to be showing those. Charles Steed, Keith Painter, Dave Matthews, not the Dave Matthews Band, just Dave Matthews. Greg Euler, Ed Newman, Steve Adkins, Jim somebody, I don't have a last name there. Carl Whitaker, Jerry Bonifield, Steve Misher. Let's see if there's any more on here. Jim Senicola, Andrew Haig, Rob Schuster, Don Puckett's out there, Ronald Ledger, Dave Krause, Ron Gudeau. Man, thank y'all for coming and hanging with me tonight. Larry Duggar's in the house. I just saw his name, Harry's Place. I don't know who that is. Landis Stutes. Going, Thomas Grimm. Thank y'all. And then Steve from Harnell Media. I don't know if I mentioned you, Steve. I might have missed you. Sean Whited, I guess. Not sure how you say that. Thank y'all. We're going to do just like we did, not last week, but week 4 last, just going to kind of do a general question and answer session. If anybody's got any questions, I'm out here in my garage in front of my Gatton CNC, so I can answer some questions. I know somebody, I believe it was Gary Brady, I think. I posted a video or something, and he's wanted me to show my dust chute thing. So I'm going to wheel it up here in just a second. It's nothing fancy, but I'll show you what I got and what I use. And I think the reason it looked different in the video is because I made this spacer. I'm going to show you how that works here in just a minute. Okay, yeah, I thought it was you, Gary. So I'm glad you're here watching live, because I'll fire that up and pull it up here and show that here in just a little bit, and then we'll get to the photos, project pics, and stuff. Ryan Ballard says, did you sell a bunch of guitars at the show? No, I didn't sell anything. I brought them all back home. But I had a great time. It was my first time ever vending in one of those kind of things. And I don't feel bad because nobody else really sold anything. There's a few that might have sold one or something like that. But being a brand new event, this was the first ever Cigar Box Guitar Festival in North Carolina. It was at the Grove Winery, so the winery opened at noon, which is when the festival started, and that kind of helped bring folks in. But a lot of folks would just come get a bottle of wine, go sit out in the lawn and listen to the artists. They weren't really there to shop. So, but I did have a lot of people come over, and even some of the artists that I know that were scheduled to perform there. Several of them came over and talked to me and was looking at my stuff and all that. So, like I said, it was a lot of fun. I had a ball. First time I ever done anything like that, and probably go back next year. It was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, it would have been. I was telling somebody, my buddy Hollis Finn, I was set up right next to him, and I told him, I said, even if I was to sell every single guitar I bought for twice as much as I'm asking, I still wouldn't make any money. I wouldn't even break even. So it was just mainly for fun, and it was a lot of fun. So, okay, Sean has a question about CNC plans that I have on my website. Okay, go ahead and ask Sean. Robert Avery's in the house. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for Sean to ask his question there in the chat, I will fire this thing up and bring it up this way, so a little closer so you can see. Okay, got it up there nice and close. All right, I still don't see his question, so we'll go ahead with the thing. I'm going to try to stand out of the way here so you can see this. This is my homemade dust shoe. Kevin Harder in the house. Welcome, Kevin. It's really very simple. This is just some of that brush material that I get from McMaster Car. I should have looked it up, put a link down there. I didn't, but all you got to do is go to look for, I think it's called nylon brushes at McMaster Car, and you can buy this in different things. But I made this where mine just pops on there, and it's held on with magnets. This really is nothing more than another thing of this, except it's got a split right here. And then right here, I have a bolt going through into I've got a little hole back here on this piece that has a dowel nut. And I'm basically just tightening it around the spindle. And it's nice and sturdy. I've never had to retighten it or anything. It stays on there really well. So what I wanted, as you can see right now, I've got just a little, maybe you can't even see it. Maybe you can, but it's just a little 1/8 end mill is what I've got in there now. And this works really good for 1/8 end mills and even a 1/4 inch end mill, stuff like that. It works really good because they don't stick down. 1/4 inch end mills will stick down a little farther, and this will cover it just fine. But as y'all probably know, I've been cutting a lot of those guitar bodies and the license plate bodies and stuff like that. And when I do, I'm using that big boy right there. This is a 1/2 inch end mill with 2 inch cutting area. So when I have that stuck in there, you can see that hangs down quite a bit more. So up until the other day when I made that spacer, I haven't even been running my dust collection when I run this big bit, because it doesn't do anything anyway. It's not even close enough to suck anything up. So what I did is the other day is I made this spacer, and this is about an 1.25 inches thick. It's a piece of this top piece is a piece of 3/4 plywood. The bottom piece is a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, and you can see that I've just cut 2 pieces, sandwiched them together right there, and then I took my Forstner bit, drilled a couple of holes here so that it would match, because I've got magnets right there. And on this piece, you can see I've got just some washers, and that's basically all that holds that on. So I wanted to do kind of the same thing with this spacer. So I took my Forstner bit, got a couple of washers on each side here, super glued those in. Those are flush. And And then on its back side, I had some more magnets. So now I can take this, stick that on there like that, and then I can take this and a little snug. And the reason it's snug is, here we go. When I first put it on there, I didn't have these little blocks on the side. And because this hangs down past the bottom of the Z box, the magnets would hold it, but it didn't take much to push it. It would twist, and then I thought, well, it's going to fall off. So I glued these little blocks right here to the side, and now it's really snug. And I've already run it several times, and it works well. So now, when I run that big old end mill, I think there's maybe about 1/4 of an inch that sticks out below the thing, but I mean, usually when I do that first pass, it's at a 1/4 inch, so it works out well. It still doesn't get it all because that thing is making some big chips, and I don't know whether they're too heavy to get sucked up unless you have a really good seal. But like if when you come forward and this is hanging off, you lose the seal. But I would guess that since I put this on now, when I hog out those bodies, it gets probably about 80%, which is way better than getting nothing like it was before. So, but anyway, that's how that works. I hope that was. And I had people say, "Well, do you have plans for it?" And I'm like, "Come on." It's pretty simple, a couple of holes, and I made this flat across the back so that it'll butt up against the box and not move. But anyway, that's that. And I really like that, being able to pop that on and off. And just to show you how I did this too, this nylon brush stuff comes with like a little rubber piece that holds it all together at the top, and all I did was cut can't remember the little groove. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, maybe you can. I think I made it about 140 or something like that. And then that rubber stuff, I just took a screwdriver and pushed it down in. It's not even glued on there. I could pull that out if I really tried, probably. But it stays in there. It works really good. So that is my fancy smancy dust shield. Get this thing back out. So, any questions on the dust chute? Let's see. Sean's got his prices. All the prices and stuff is on the website. I never mentioned pricing in a video, which I know this is a live stream. It will eventually become a video, because then people will watch it 10 years from now and go, "Oh, he said it was this much." So the prices are all right there on the website. You can't miss them. They don't come with SVG files. They come with, they're just 2D files. So yeah, you should be, I don't know what a Maslow, that's that thing with the bricks and all that, isn't it? I don't know what kind of files those use, but can you share that file? Yeah. Always a gimme. Speaking of gimme, I want to remind everybody that, we were talking about the cigar box guitar stuff earlier. Next week, I've got a live, next week when we do the show on the 22nd, I'm going to be giving away live on the show one of those license plate guitars. You can go to the website. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got a link down the description. I'm so bad about forgetting to put links down there. Yeah, Mark, gimme. Yep. But anyway, you can go to the website and go over to, well, I think if you just go to the homepage, there's something right on the homepage that says enter to win a license plate guitar. We've already had a bunch of entries, but you still got a whole nother week. And we'll be doing that live next week using a random number generator. And it should be fun. I always like doing giveaways like that. But the rules are, well, one, I started to say you need to be a subscriber, but that's too hard for me to really check if you are or not. And, you should be anyway, just so you can get a notification and you won't miss the show. Because if you're not watching live, if your name's drawn and you're not out there live to say, hey, that's me, we move on to somebody else. We take that name out and move on to the next one. You got to be watching live to win. So, let's see. Were there any more questions? Thanks. Yeah, Gary. I hope you see how I did that with the. Like I said, it's nothing fancy. Let's see. Ryan Ballard says, with the mahogany body you made the other day, are you still use 1/4-inch plywood, or did you plane down a piece of mahogany? The back panel is just a piece of this 1/4-inch birch plywood, and that's because if the guy had the guy that I was cutting that for, I met him at the festival. He told me he was bringing that wood, and what I told him, I said, well, I'd rather, instead of cutting them and charging, figuring out how to charge somebody for it, I said, I'd rather just have some wood. So, you're going to bring me a blank to cut, bring me 2 blanks. One of them will be mine, and that's my payment for, cutting the other one. So anyway, he brought me some mahogany and some maple. So I cut both. I cut the mahogany first, and then I cut the maple. And he only wanted one back panel. He's going to make the other back panel out of cigar box lids or something, I think. What he said he was going to do. So, yeah, Sean, I'm still cutting all that. Like I said, I don't know how you're missing this. All that's on that website page. I sell a plans only option, and I also still sell the kits. I cut them pretty much every day. So, all right, let's see. It says I'll take vanilla. All right, get that one. All right, let's see. Robert Avery says, what's the table size of the machine you have here? Well, as I've said before, my Gatton CNC is totally different than anybody else's, because this is an old metal frame from the Sidewinder days. Yes, I did say Sidewinder, metal Sidewinder. This was an old 4x4 that I had made up. Didn't like the way it worked, so I took it apart, and I had all these metal parts stacked up over in the corner. And then when I started putting this together to use it kind of as an assembly table, I thought, man, I think I'm just going to build my Gatton CNC on this. So I had to use, mine's a little different because I don't have the angle up here like most people. I've got the same flat bar rails that I was using on that original Sidewinder. So I had to modify my uprights. My uprights are taller than everybody else's. But the basic size of my machine is, if I count the plywood's about 54 by almost 59 inches. I really only cut 48 inches wide. The blanks I cut the Gatton CNC kits out of are 48 by 32. So I hardly ever use that last few inches that I can cut. So I've actually got my homing switch, instead of having to wait for it to go back that extra 6 or 8 inches that I never use. I went ahead and mounted my homing switch a little closer. So if, well, you guys can't see it, but the mark from where the end of the plywood is, and I've got a black mark, I can just glance and I can tell when I'm getting close to that homing switch. There's about that much more room. It could go back that much farther, but you know, it goes back so slow and all that. I just move that homing switch up closer so that I'll have to wait on that. Because I'm not using that last few inches anyway. I could if I wanted to, but I never use it. Okay, Sean says, okay, good. Glad you spotted it. Let's see what else we got. Benji Long in the house. Frankie CNC and woodworking channel. Anyone have a bow? I can pull my push more. Yeah, got you guys getting a lot of rain up there. I think we got some. Well, driving to North Carolina, that festival was a man, what a trip. It was supposed to take about 6 hours, and of course I had all kinds of snafus. My enterprise, I rented a vehicle big enough to put all my stuff in, because my truck, you know, doesn't have a cover. So I rented a SUV so I could put all this stuff in and we could leave it locked up and all that. Well, Enterprise was supposed to come pick me up Thursday so that I could get it packed up Thursday night, leave first thing Friday. Guy called me about 4:52 and says, I'll be there in 20 minutes. And I stood out the end of my driveway for an hour and never came to pick me up. So I had to go Friday morning, get the car, come back here, load it up, take the dogs to get boarded, and drive over there. Man, it was like, you know, raining off and on, hard, really hard at times. We had a good rain during the festival. Thank God my new Easy Up worked well. So, but anyway, had a good time anyhow, regardless of the rain. But all right, do we have any more questions about anything here? If you think of something, throw it in the chat. If I miss it, I'll try to come back and get it. In the meantime, I will get ready to screen share here and show some of these project pictures. David Mitchell says, how do you have your cooling water for your spindle ran? Okay. You probably cannot see it, but right through there, almost in the middle of my table, right underneath that window back there, I have a 5-gallon bucket. And let me see if I can. Okay. Turn that a little bit. Basically, if I put my hand on these hoses here, you can see how they go to the spindle. The red hose is the one coming from the little submersible pump that's in that 5-gallon bucket. And so it's coming to the spindle, and then the orange hose, which is only about this long, and then it goes into a clear hose because I've got my little flow meter thing that Hobby gave me. It's just running back into the bucket, so that's how it works. And what am I using for coolant? Just regular water. I do have, let me see here. I go down to the my local Advanced Auto Parts, I think it is, and I get some of this RV marine antifreeze. You can see I just throw a little of that in there whenever I change the water. So that's it. That's what I use. I can tell you, you know, we've talked about this before. Even down here in Georgia, in this Georgia heat, as long as I can see that little flow meter turning, and let me see if I can turn it on. We'll see if we can get it going here. Can y'all see that turning? I don't know if y'all can see it or not. Maybe too far away. But as long as I can see that turning, I can run this thing all day long and feel of that, you know, I feel right up here at this jacket. And it's never more than, I almost don't even want to say warm. It's not even really warm. It's just, you know, it only feels warm because of, you know, when it's 90 or 95 out here. One thing about it, let me pull this back up here since I'm talking about it. I don't know if y'all can see that thing spinning. It's spinning pretty good. But the other thing too, of course, I got this big old hose in the way, is I have a 3/8 aluminum plate right here that I mounted this aluminum bracket that comes with the spindle to. So that really helps as well because all that will act as a heat sink. So there have been times when I've been running it, and I can tell you folks, when it's hot out here, old Dave ain't out here. It's running, and I've got a little camera right over there just outside the door here. And I'll get my little tablet. I'll sit down in my recliner right in here and have my little app on with that tablet, and I'm watching this thing. But I can't really see it good enough to tell if this is spinning. And there's been times when I've come out here and for some reason it's not spinning, you know, whether it got clogged up or air bubbles or whatever. But you really have to run these things a long time and run them hard before you're going to overheat them. As long as you got water sitting in there. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But like I said, I like having all this extra aluminum here. That'll act like a heat sink and help pull. Keith Painter says, post a link for the flow meter, please. Javi Osueta gave me that one. He come by here on one of the times he was going to the Atlanta Wood Show, and he gave me one of those. He'd ordered some, and they sent him like a whole bunch of them. I don't know. I don't know why they sent him so many. But anyway, it's just a little plastic thing, and I think that's 1/4 inch clear tubing. And I've just got a little barb thing here, splice this orange tubing. This here, I believe, is like metric. It's like 6 millimeter, I think, which is, you know, 0.236 instead of 1/4 inch at 250. What's it? Somebody's asking about the red blinking light. Yeah, that's my VFD. Let me move this over here. I think I can. I got this. Let me see if y'all can. Let me turn the camera a little bit. Well, I guess you might have been able to see it anyway. But this is how I operate my spindle. This is also something that Hobby made me. It's just kind of a wired remote. He used some Cat 5 cable to wire it back to the VFD, and I just got a little pot right here, so I keep that turned off. I can turn it on. And now if you watch over, let's see if I can turn this back. You watch that flashing red light, and you'll hear maybe you'll hear it. It's pretty quiet. So there I'm at 15,700, 8, 9 till it settles in. So yeah, that's how I control my spindle. And the spindle I'm using, Sean, is I don't know if I can pronounce it. Han Yang or something. I can't pronounce. It's Chinese. If you look on my website where I have all those Amazon affiliate links, I have one for this. It's the 2.2 kilowatt water cooled spindle, and I think it's HUA. Yeah, I got the book somewhere. Yeah, that's pretty close. HUANYANG. Hunyang. The documentation sucks because it's all in Chinglish. But there's enough people now that have these, can get a lot of help getting one going if you need to. Let's see. Yeah, my Sweetie's the company I think that sold that on Hong Yang or however you say it. How does spindle power compare to DeWalt 611? Oh, it's like night and day. DeWalt 611, which I have right over there on the Garage Works. And you've got, I think, 1 through 6, I think. And I don't even know what the numbers are, because I usually run it pretty much wide open, or sometimes around 4 or 5, something like that. But that is a compact router, so even wide open at max power, it's only going to be about 1 1/4 horsepower, whereas this at 2.2 kilowatt is just about 3 horsepower. And of course, the good thing with a spindle being on 220 like this is as you're running it, it will speed up or slow down. Depending, if it hits a hard spot in the wood, it'll say, hey, I need more juice, and it'll do it. And, it controls it, whereas that will just bog down. Yeah, spindles are 3-phase. Or at least this one is. Some of them they sell are 110, but I don't know much about them. Because Keith Painter says, I always start my spindle on low. You don't get the torque kick like the router would. Yeah, I try to keep mine, that pot turned all the way off. So even if I turn it on, see the light quit blinking, so it's on, but it's still at 0 because I haven't even moved it yet. See, there's like a little over 4,000. You probably can't even hear that, it's so quiet. But I always try to remember to turn it off and turn that all the way down too. Just a habit. Let's see. Juan Lopez in the house. How you doing, my friend? All right. Any other questions? Let's see. I think we've covered them all. If I missed any, I apologize. Put them in there again. I'm trying to watch this and talk at the same time. So, are we ready to see some project pics? Let's see. If we don't get any more questions, yeah, we're already at 8:36. Let me do this screen share thing. And I will not be able to see the chat while I'm doing this. So if you have any questions, hold them a second until. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention it, but my little switches here, my buddy Jim hooked me up with. This one right here is how I turn my VFD on. And all these basically do is they go to a set of 4 outlets. Each one of these switches goes to 4 outlets back there. It's on the back of my machine. So when I turn the VFD on, it will turn the VFD on it has a contact switch or breaker or whatever. And it will also turn the pump on at the same time. So I don't have to worry about turning, excuse me, turning that on and forgetting to turn the pump on. It automatically turns the pump on. So. All right. Like I said, I cannot see. I'm doing this right. I don't know. Can y'all see the? Let me look on my phone here. I can't see nothing now. I'll come back to that question, David Crook. So nobody can see me? Okay, I guess that. Hold on here. I don't know why this thing is not letting me share. Try it again. Well, I don't know why it is not letting me share my screen, so that's going to suck. Because you can't see. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the screen is up, but when I click share, it doesn't do anything. So I don't know what's going on. It will not let me do it. Oh, that's really gonna. It's like it tries, but it. All right, this may not work. I may not be able to show these photos. Can't see your screen. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that. I don't know what's going on here. This thing is not wanting to work. Every time I click screen share, that pops up. And when I doesn't do anything, I click share. Well, ain't that something? I don't know if it's because I'm the only one on here or not. Let me I don't know. All right, well, let me answer this question. David Crook asked me, how big is my workshop? This really isn't my workshop. This is my garage. I just had, it's kind of like a workshop because there hadn't been a car in here in years. But I have my Gatton CNC here. I've got a, right just off camera here, I've got a 36 by 24 garage work CNC that I use. And this garage is like 22 by 20 or something. So I don't know, 400 and some square feet, but most of it's taken up with junk. But my shop, what I call my shop, is around back, and it's a 12 by 28. Actually, just one of those storage buildings you buy, and I bought it back in February, I think, of 2013, and it's just a bare bones storage building. That's it. You know, the aluminum siding stuff, framed up, no nothing. So I did order it where they put insulation on the floor because I didn't want to have to crawl up under it once they did that. And then I came in and put insulation all in the ceiling and on all the walls. I ran my own electrical outlets, and then of course my buddy Jim that you always hear me talk about. He's my electrician buddy. He lives around the corner here. He came over and with his big ditch witch type thing and run me some conduit from. We had my meter on my house is on this end, my shop's over on that end. So he had to tie into the meter and go up and through the attic and then back down into another box and then down into the ground and over to my shop. But I got lots of power out there. All right, I'm gonna keep trying this screen share thing. Let's see, Mark, are you where you could join me tonight? I don't know if it's got something to do with the 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can't share the screen with myself. All right, so I need somebody else in here. Who's that? Mark, Juan, who's who's able to come? Not on the phone. Just can't really. Okay, that's the thing. It's Father's Day weekend. Everybody's got plans and stuff. So, Juan, are you still around out there? I can send you a link and. See, Juan, everybody's being shy now. Nobody's wanting to come on here. Patrick, what about you, buddy? You want to come on here so I can screen share? I don't have a camera. Let's see. Is there if there's a way I can open another one of these? Let me see if that will work. Maybe if I use my phone, open up a second one. What do you say, Juan? Are you ready? Juan doesn't have any clothes on. Well, I don't know if that would help ratings or not. So let me just see if I can do it this way. See if I can get on with my phone. If that will let me. Oh, Lord, it's wanting me to sign in. I'm right here. Speaking of idiots, have y'all, any of you other guys that do the YouTube thing, post video stuff, y'all getting copyright matches like me? Some of these dudes, man, they great. I don't have any idea what that password is. We'll make something up. Nope, that ain't it. Well. All right, Jim Senicola, he says, send me a link. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to send Jim Senicola a link. And as soon as he gets on here, we'll then be able to do the screen share. I didn't even think about that. Of course, I thought somebody would pop in on me, but so far nobody has. So let's see here. There he is, Jim Senicola. This thing's wanting to run slow as molasses now. Okay, let's see. There we go. All right, Jim now has the link, so I'll wait for him to hop on here, and then we should be able to do a screen share. I've lost my, oh, there it is. Oh, Mark Lindsay says, I'm wrong there, Dave. You can screen share when you're the only one there. I don't know what's going on. I thought I'd done it before, but Ryan, you want to join? I can send you a link too. And Juan, if you put pants on or something, you can always keep your camera turned off. I just need somebody to, let me go back and see. Yeah, I'll send Ryan Ballard. Oh, Lord, I can't. I appreciate y'all, being patient with me in my computer incompetence here. See if we can get Ryan Ballard a link as well. This is slow. Slow. All right, let's see if I can find Ryan Ballard over here. Man, everything's down to a crawl now. Come on, where's that there? Trying to find the search in that chat because I don't see Ryan Ballard. All right, slowly moving here. Poor laptop's seen better days, I'm afraid. Man, come on. Oh. Yeah, let me see if I can. There we go. All right. Ryan Ballard, there he is. If I can ever get somebody to join me, then I can shut all this other stuff off and the computer will run a little bit faster. But right now, having to multitask to get two folks. Let's see, did Jim Senecola make it back yet? No. Still not working. Going to all this trouble to get somebody on here. It probably won't work after I get them on here. I've just got the little thing spinning around waiting. So, see if I can try to catch up with somebody here. If y'all have any other questions, we'll take those here in a minute because I don't know if we're going to get this screen share thing to work or not. Oh, now I've got this on the wrong. I'm having good luck with technology today. Okay. Man, this isn't working. It's not doing it here. Let me try to send those links from my phone because this laptop is not cutting it at all. So, and man, I had a bunch of pictures to show. I found the ones that Dell Ludlam and Gary Brady had sent back on April something. All right, let's see. Try Jim Sinicola. I thought he said he was going to try to get on here, but I sent him the link. Here it is again. All right, now let me go see if I can find Ryan Ballard. We can get him 1 cent. There he is. Okay, 2 links sent out. I don't know, maybe Juan's got his pants on now. Let me see if I can send him one. Okay, we sent out 3 links, so maybe we'll get somebody. I have no clue why that screen share is not working. Don't know. Okay, I sent that in Facebook Messenger, Ryan. That's how I send them. Juan, I sent you one. And Jim, he says I couldn't sign in. Sorry. Okay, Russians. Yeah. Pesky Russians. Let's see. Hey, look at there. Look who snuck in here.
I made it.
All righty. And we don't care if you wear pants or not, as long as you got a shirt on. We're good. There's Jim Santola. He's in. Wow, we got a crowd now. All right, now the moment of truth. Let's see if this dadgum screen share will work. And it's still not working.
I broke it.
All right. Well, we'll. It must be a. It must be a Google thing. I can figure. But I'm glad you guys joined me anyway.
That's what I'm here for.
Welcome. Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Dave.
We'll go back and I'll go back through the chat. I've still got that open over here. What program do I use to screen share? This is all through Google Hangouts. Same thing I've been using for years. I don't have any idea why it's not wanting to work tonight.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. Anyway, since we can't do the screen share and show the project pics, I'll show them at the beginning of next week's show. Which, by the way, don't forget, we've got the giveaway next week. So, does anybody have any other questions? Let's see what we're doing on time. It's about 9 o'clock. Does anybody else have any other questions about Gatton CNC or anything like that? When all else fails, reboot the laptop. Yeah, I guess I could since I got somebody else on here now. In fact, let me try to leave and come back in. I'll leave the broadcast going.
Here, look, in the meantime, I'll show progress of my building.
Okay.
So that's my building that I'm building right now. It's been a year in the making so far. It's going to be my shop. It's a 30 by 50 pole barn. So far, done every piece of it by myself. That's not to gloat or anything. That's just because I have no friends. But yeah, it's coming along. And we're getting some stone. Put some stone into the bottom of it the other day. And then I need about 40 tons more stone to put in there. And then we can do some concrete. So that's on the way.
All right, looking good.
Yeah, a little bit at a time.
And it's well away from your house too, right?
It's not too bad. It's about maybe 75 feet or so. So it's a decent amount. We're going to be putting solar on this roof on this side here. That'll be cool.
Yep, cool.
Yeah. Should be fun. Just got to get it done.
All right, yep, it's looking good, Ryan. I'm jealous. I'm officially jealous.
Don't be jealous. There's like half the roof not on it. But
all right, so let's go back to let's see here. We got any questions? Larry Duggar said I'm having trouble because my VFD isn't blinking. All right, let's see. I'm on. All right, I don't see any other questions.
watch out, big puppy.
I'm glad to see you on here, Carl. How's your machine running? Can you cut 48 edge to edge on that machine? Yeah, I can. I'd have to move my homing switch back. Like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier. Since I never used that last little bit, I actually moved my homing switch up a little closer. So it doesn't even go all the way back, but because of the homing switch set, but it would if I did it. But yeah, I can cut a full 48 by 48 on this if I needed to. I've never really needed to. I've never cut anything all that big. 48 by 32 is what I usually cut for the Gatton CNC blanks. Running great, Dave. No, just no time to enjoy. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's I've actually had more fun the past, I don't know, month or two, I guess. It's just the way the orders have fell that I've been able to work really hard and get the orders caught up and out, and then I'll have maybe a day or two where I can play and do what I want to do. So that's making those different kind of bodies and stuff with this, and then all the other print boards and all the kind of stuff I'm doing with the laser around back. It's just it's been a lot of fun.
Dave, when did you build your first home built machine?
When did I build my first what?
Yeah, your first machine there at the house. I know you did that type of work in industry, but when did you do the first one there at the house?
Oh, my first CNC?
Yeah.
I started messing around in 2005. I built, well, actually, I hadn't really planned it. Some of you probably heard this story before, and I apologize for repeating it, but really, I never planned on building CNCs. I was like a lot of folks where I was sitting in my boring desk job at work, and I was trying to, think of other ways I could make a little money on the side. And I thought of some products I could make, and I thought, well, I could make myself some hand templates and cut everything out with a bandsaw and then use a flush trim bit and a router table and stuff. But I wanted a CNC because that's what I did for my job. I programmed CNC lasers and all kinds of CNC equipment. But back then, like I said, around 2005, there wasn't much out there. The only thing that I remembered seeing was the machine by Next Wave Automation. And of course, everybody these days knows it as the Shark and the Shark Pro and all that Rockler sells. But this is before Rockler was even selling the Next Wave Automation machines. And those things, I want to say they were like $3,000 or $4,000 back then. And it's plastic, it's heavy plastic, but it's plastic. So that made me think, well, heck, Dave, you're a sheet metal guy. You design stuff all day long, every day. Let's see if you can figure out how to make a CNC machine. So I went through a few iterations of different things, tried them, and some of them would work, some of them, they all work, but some of them didn't work. I learned right away that 4 stepper motors is the way to go, because I was trying to copy the other ones I saw, and they would do like 3 stepper motors, have one in the middle underneath and run it that way, but you just get too much racking going back and forth. So I thought, nope, I'm not going that route. So I changed it, and I came in really in about 2007. 2007 is when I came up with the one. If you look at my old videos, woodworking videos and stuff, where you'll see that old gray metal sidewinder that has the kind of the same design. It's got the lead screws on the side and all that. When I came up with that one and I started running it, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? This thing runs so good. This needs to be my product instead of using it to make and just sell nickel and dime stuff. So I sold those from like 2007 to about 2010. The economy took a dump in 2008, and so everything dropped. 2008, I made more money than I knew what to do with. And in 2009, it cut in half, and in 2010, it cut in half again. And I'm like, I'm not even going to advertise these things anymore. I'm just going to start having fun. So that's when I really started getting more into the YouTube, doing the YouTube video thing and stuff like that. And of course, y'all know the story about the shoestring budget thing. I shoot a YouTube video, and people would fuss at me and say, "Oh yeah, that's easy. You got a CNC machine, blah blah blah." So I just said, "Okay, it's not rocket science. I'll show you guys how to do it." And that's when I drew up those plans for that, what I call the shoestring budget thing, and gave away well over 4,000 sets of those plans, and kind of the rest is history. Ever since then, I've been known as the CNC guy. So.
Yeah, I know that. Well, when I started looking into getting a CNC, of course, I was looking at the X-Carve and all the other ones, and I ran across Michael Chipser, and he sent me the link of you riding the gantry. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, well, I know what I'm buying."
Yeah, I had to make me a little saddle so I had something to sit on, because I didn't want to flatten out that lead screw. But yeah, I had just a little thing built where it straddled that lead screw, and I sat on there, and I'm not a real big guy. I'm not tall. I'm only like 5'7", but if I stand sideways, I don't miss any meals. So there was, I don't know, probably about 185, 190 pounds sitting on that thing, rolling around. So, but yeah, I want to try to put that myth to bed and even now people still don't believe it. They go, "Oh yeah, it's plywood. It's not good," and I don't care if they're, if they're the, I don't know what the right word to use is, the fancy machine snobs, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
If a plywood machine isn't good enough for them, that's fine. Go spend your money. But I would put my machine up against any of them high dollar machines as far as accuracy. Now it's not going to be as fast, but as far as accuracy, I put it up against any of them.
Yeah, well, right now on the X-Carve people that are out there, there's somebody that's actually selling a screw drive kit to convert them over, because people don't like the belts. And it's like, okay, well, guess what I already have.
Yeah, belts just don't, especially those on the X-Carve belt. That's just not the way to go. And that's kind of what led into me starting up the Garage Works. Is I saw all these X-Carves coming out, and they were sending them to everybody and their brother that had a YouTube channel. And a lot of these folks had never, didn't even know how to spell CNC, much less run one. And they had all kinds of problems. And, there's a few out there, Steve Carmichael being one, and a few others that, if you realize the machine's limitations and stay below that, you're fine. You can run anything. It's just going to take a while. But, that's kind of why the Garage Works came out. I wanted something that ran the same kind of router. That's why I'm using the DeWalt 611. It's designed around that, but then it's got the lead screws and stuff. And I don't want to knock X-Carve, because I know them guys that have them, they're proud of them and all that, but it ain't no Garage Work. Let's see. Thomas Graham says, so you have any idea how many Gatton CNCs are out there? All of them. All out. No, I don't know the exact number. I'd have to go count them up. There's quite a few. There's a couple. One or two in Canada. Bob Schuster, this is pretty high-tech VCarve Pro G-code question. I understand VCarve will now support G93, has to do with getting the rotary speed right for rotary cuts. Yeah, I haven't delved into that, Rob. I need to. I've got my rotary axis right down here underneath this little table thing where that Garage Works is sitting. And I need to get that back out, knock the cobwebs off, do a few shows or something on that. Because of the way VCarve came out with that, that added that feature in there. I haven't messed with it since. So. All right, I don't see any other questions. I guess we're ready to wrap this one up. I apologize so much, folks, for the screen share not working. We tried one more time. It just will not go. It just will not go. Juan, how you doing? I'm sorry we made you get dressed.
Well, Juan, I didn't put pants on. I'm just outside.
Hopefully it doesn't feedback, but I'm doing good.
Okay, good.
Doing good.
Your Garage Works running good?
It's running great.
All right, good. I don't know if Jim's still. He may have stepped out, I guess. Well, I guess we're at about 9, almost 9:15. I guess we'll wrap this one up. Man, I hate it because I had notes for
Hey,
the
Dave.
pictures. I had Dave Matthews sent me a couple of pictures, and I found the pictures that Gary Brady had sent back in April. I found the ones that Dale Ludlam had sent back in April, and also Rob Schuster had sent me some pictures. All awesome stuff, and I was anxious to show it tonight. And now I don't know. You say something, Juan? What?
No. I think it was someone else.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say something while I was yakking there. Well, I don't even. Let's see me get the chat back up here. I will send you a few more. Okay. Well, I promise that I will have those project photos for next week. I'll probably, yeah, since we're doing a giveaway, I'm probably not going to try to do anything out here in the garage because it's always iffy when I'm on the laptop. I mean, I'm hardwired. I got 75 feet of Cat 5 cable running through the hallway down to my office back there, as long as the dog hadn't chewed it too. But I think we've had a decent connection. It's just for some reason, I don't know why, that screen share is not wanting to work. Larry Duggar, where should we send pictures to? You can send them to my email, either email. I use Dave at garageworkscnc.com or Dave Gatton at AT&T.net. Either one of those. And if you can't remember that, there's links. You know, if you just go to the website, there's a thing that says contact us or whatever, and you click on that, it'll send it right to me. Rob Schuster says, everyone else is playing with lasers. I am playing with rotary. Yeah. It's fun. Those lasers are fun. And I still am going to buy that DAC board, and I'm also going to try one of those, I hate to say cheaper, less expensive lasers that I've been seeing. I figure for the money, I'll try one. Benji Long says, Dave, thank you for all you do getting ready for the Christmas challenge. Well, if you start now, you should have no excuse for not having an entry ready. Yeah, that'll be coming up. Well, we're already, it's already the middle of June. I can't believe how fast this year's gone.
Yeah, it's been quick.
So yeah, November, because we start that Christmas challenge Black Friday right after Thanksgiving. Run from whenever Black Friday is up through Christmas Eve.
I haven't picked up a laser yet, but I will be doing a laser soon, hopefully with the Raspberry Pi, so I can report back on that.
Yeah, I hope. I think there's somebody else that's running an Arduino or something, or maybe the Pi thing. I don't know. Can't remember who it is. But yeah, please report back on that because I'd like to see how that works. All right, well, folks, I guess we're going to wrap this one up. No other questions that I see, and no pictures to show. Benji on converting scroll saw patterns to CNC. Yeah, I always say if you don't know who Steve Good is, Steve Good, and I can never remember his silly website. It's like something blogspot. I don't know what it is, but anyway, you just Google Steve Good, and you'll find his website, and he has Oh man, just tons of scroll saw patterns that he gives away free. He doesn't charge anything for them. And a lot of those you can take and make into stuff you can cut on the CNC. So he's probably the best. All right, Rob Schuster's cooking on the Barbie. So, yeah, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Andrew Haig says, I'm running a smoothie board, which is a Arduino-ish. Okay. And you're running a laser, I believe, too, right, Andrew? Are you running the JTech?
Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
I can.
Hey, wanted to let you know that I'm making my ukulele.
All right, sweet. You bought the kit from CB Giddy?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah.
I got most of the box and that done. I'm gonna work on electronics now. I'm gonna put a piezo in it, and I bought
Yeah.
the little amplifier kit and everything.
Oh, did you get the preamp?
Yes.
Okay, cool. One thing I'll tell you, did you get your piezo from CB Giddy as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's probably fine then. I bought a set because I was trying to knock out these license plate guitars, and I found a place on Amazon where they were selling. I could get 10 of them for pretty cheap, and I bought them, and they were supposed to be a pre-wired harness with a volume control. And the first one I put in, it worked, but I mean, the volume control did nothing. It was always like full on. And then I got to looking, and they had the wires, the one wire from the output jack that was supposed to be on that middle lug.
Yeah.
They had it. They had it on the same lug as the piezo. So the pot was doing absolutely nothing. So I had to go through and unsolder and resolder every one of those. So I'm thinking, well, here I thought I was getting a good deal, buying them cheaper off of Amazon, and ends up being a whole bunch of work. So just be warned if you shop on Amazon, if you get something, test it before you.
Yeah, that I bought that one that was pre-wired, and they had it epoxied into a little oak coin, and then you just put it on the inside. So I'm not afraid of electronics. I just thought I'd get it done faster.
Yeah, well, I I don't mind soldering this stuff up, but if I can get a pre-wired harness, for just a little bit more, I'll buy the pre-wired harness all the time. I
Yeah.
don't have to fool with it. But these, like I said, I had to go back, redo all of them, and I just took the piezo disc and hot glued it to the bottom of the license plate, and they sound good. And of course, now the volume pot works. Now that I've wired it the right way.
Cool.
Okay, Andrew says laser runs on MP CNC with ramp 1.4 controller JTech. Yes, I have that in a box to keep it safe with the kids. Yeah, if you got kids around, you got to be careful. I always worry about my dogs coming in there and won't stare at it. So I don't know if dogs could see. I guess they could see it. Dogs. I don't think they see color, right? Not they just black and white.
Don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I was thinking that's the way dogs are. I don't think they can see color, but I don't know if that blue light from the laser would mess them up or not. But usually when they come in, I'm always trying to stand in front of the laser so they can't see it.
For those that have 3D printers out there, if you go to designsbyphil.com, he's a X-Carve guy, but he makes like his own all kinds of upgrades and stuff. He actually did like some shields that you can. He gives you the files for the to 3D print the shields out for the JTech, so you can mount them on whatever. and it'll help protect that way too.
Okay. All righty. All right. I can't even I don't even know how many folks are still watching. This thing here doesn't show it anymore like it used to. And screen share doesn't work. Nothing works on this anymore. So I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I don't see any more questions. Every time I say that, somebody throws a question up there. So let me sign off real quick before another question comes up. Thank you for coming in, Juan. Well, Juan's already left us. He might have took his pants back off. Thank you, Juan, for coming in. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jim. Jim,
No problem, Dave.
good luck on your ukulele or however you say it. And remember, next week we're doing the live drawing. So if you're entered, you need to be watching in case your name's drawn. And again, I apologize for the screen share not working, but it is what it is. If it won't work, it won't work. So anyway, we will see y'all next week. Everybody have a great night and have a very happy Father's Day. Good night, everybody.
Good night.